Hello folks, and welcome back to Legendary Grand Cathay. It is time to kick the ogres right in their big guts, and let's get to it then, shall we? Alright, I am ready to start the battle. I'm going to make sure my cannons and crossbows and crane gunners are all on defensive mode. And I'm going to target my cannons at just different dual weapon units and try and take some models off of these guys, essentially. It looks like they fired at the Nobblers first, which is frustrating. But I've got them retargeted. Hopefully we'll get some damage done. I've got crane gunners as well. Push this line up just a little bit. I don't want to make this gap too big, but I'm trying to make a little room between my front line and the second line. 18 of 18, so we did not actually drop any models in that one. Let's see what happens. Here comes another volley. I've got... Yep, it's having good effect, good effect. Our crane gunners have opened up. I'm actually going to use my crane guns to start sniping their lord. And I'm going to use my war compass to kind of block charges from the larger ogre units. Yeah, those cannons are getting some work done. We are taking units out of the fight before they ever get there. So, and I'm here for it. I might be able to pretty well blunt the ogre or actually let's smack these saber tusk packs. Alright, here we go. Oh yeah, we're getting some really nice hits. Real good hits. Cannons are paying dividends. There we go. Enemy lord is kind of getting bashed up. Ooh, those Nobbler trappers are gonna get real annoying real fast. Let's actually pull back. My flank is actually fairly secure now. Alright, our compass has got some people fixed. Let's use it. That's the comet coming down, and then we'll drop some lightning as well. Didn't do too much. Didn't do too much. Let's fall back just a little bit here. Let's take out those trappers. There's another unit of trappers right there. I don't see any of my units just absolutely getting wrecked, so let's take our lord. Other units, maybe drop a little magic right there, disrupt that. And then see if there's any other targets. Yeah, right here. Let's come over and give these guys some attention. And then I'll come over here and charge them after they fall back. Let's get our cannons. Our cannons have driven off almost all of the enemies. The War Compass did a nice job of absorbing a lot of charges there. Let's take the Celestial Dragon Guard, go help clean up that Saber Tusk pack. Oh yeah, the Wall of Wind and Fire. Big work done on the Nobbler Trappers. Let's pull our Wujing Compass back this way. Give them another target here. Very nice. This army was actually pretty well equipped to hurt ogres really badly. And I made a lot of mistakes here too and still did just fine. So yeah, I feel like even with the mistakes we did just fine. The cannons got some serious work done. They remember they were targeting large units most of the time and had anywhere from 12 to 24 kills, and then the ogre leader got trashed by my crane gunner, so good effect here. Well, that ended up working out good. The Saber Tusk pack could not get through my armored flanks, and I left the halberds up front to deal with the potential charge of ogre bulls, and the ogre bulls were mostly useless. I mean, we got some solid value out of our cannons, so pretty good deal there. Our celestial, or the Dune Dragons here, were really laying into the ogres as well. So nice performance, I think, overall. Nice performance. Let's go ahead and take the replenishment so this army stays ready to fight. I'm not horribly cash strapped at the moment, so Should be fine. We picked up the Celestial Silk Robe, which is not amazing, but, you know, it's a magic item, we'll take it. I mean, and who doesn't like a nice silk robe? Let's see if we can upgrade our Alchemist here. Take Evasion. And let's finish this Ogre army. There's not much of it left, so we'll just kind of continue to clean up. We need to trade out at least one of these cannons, maybe two, for Fire Rain rockets. Fire Rain rockets aren't as good against large stuff, but if we're not going to be fighting a ton of ogres, and Fire Rain rockets are just obscenely good against infantry type targets, and not bad against anything else they hit. Although, of course, the cannons would be better for sniping enemy lords, and so on. Let's see, the Jade Shield, Wall of Wind and Fire, Strength of Yang. Let's do this one. We're getting close to being able to get to these higher tier spells here. We'll take a look at those. How are we doing over here? So Rebellion is staved off pretty well here. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Bonus right there, the Standing Stones. Alright, so we've got a lot of cash. Our yin-yang balance is very, very close at the moment, and I still have some buildings converting, so it might actually flip over here soon. That army is replenishing and recruiting, re-recruiting a crane gunner, I should say. Re-recruiting. This army can now clear the ogre rebels here. So they will be clear. Gonna just take the cash off them, we'll stack up some cash. We're running short of caravans right now, so we can try and make our extra money from cash. I'm gonna go hit the city of Shugengen because I think that is... Oh, I'm not gonna replenish here, whoops. It's maybe just right back across that line there so we can replenish. Let's go in here for the upgrades. Let's do Missile Mirror. I want to test that one some. I haven't gotten to use it much. And then from Village of the Moon, we're going to hit the Celestial Monastery. So this should leave the Skaven with no settlements left on the next turn when I hit that other one. Unless they take something in the meantime, which they might. I have some little outlying settlements that are not looking particularly powerful. We picked up some cash from that one. Our income went up. Celestial Monetary. Oh, it's because there's wine there. So and that also pushed our yang balance a little farther. Jiangxi. I want this port city. I would make considerable money off of that, and I think some of my allies are fighting against the lizards over here. I wish they wouldn't have declared war on us, but they did, and so I may make them cough that settlement up. I don't really appreciate them taking up one of the port settlements because these are worth quite a lot of income to me. That said, I don't want to get myself spread too thin. Remember that Village the Curseling just came back to Wing Chang. This army is going to be needed to come help face them down. This army's not insanely powerful, but it's pretty strong. Speaking of, I believe our brother is probably... Yes! And we have quite a lot of money, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and get brother his own army here. And I'm probably going to respec him too, because the AI did his specifications, so we will set him up the way that we want. We've got 22 skill points. Probably go ahead and do this. Reassuring Presence is nice to not get extra. Let's do Fervent, Pressable. Let's go ahead and do this one to save us a little bit of upkeep. And I'm going to work on these ones next, but until then, I think I'm going to get some magic capability here. Metal Shifting is pretty good because it's infinite range across the map. And then Dragon's Breath is pretty solid for a cheap one. Wall of Wind and Fire is not bad. That'll give us evasion. We can get Constellation of the Dragon and Final Transmutation. Let's do those. Arcane Conduit, and then let's do Earthing so that when we overcast, we're less likely to hit that. So I think that'll be a good start for the Iron Dragon. And for his army, let's try and make things interesting. We haven't used these Celestial Bannermen very much. These could be interesting units to pick up a flank. The Celestial Dragon Guard are actually pretty decent in a mainline formation because they're shielded, whereas the Jade Warrior Halberds are not. So that could be an interesting, pick there. Our global recruitment's only so much here. Dragon Breath Gunners. What can we get locally? We cannot get any of the nice explosives locally. So that stuff would probably need to come out of the global recruitment. We have access to Terracotta Sentinels as well. We've got the Grand Cannon, the Juggernaut. The Fire Rain rockets we've seen in action are particularly good. It might be fun to try the Juggernaut. Maybe... See, the Lance Battery has limited range, although it is really good against large. I don't want to limit my range too much. Peasant Horse Archer, so I'm just trying to think through options here. We got Nangao Rifleman, which would make an interesting line. I think the crossbows ultimately, obviously, are better, especially when we get the Slushers, but Crane Gunners. I think Crane Gunners in numbers are probably going to end up being a little more effective than if we go for the Juggernaut, but I mean, I do want to see this thing in action at some point. And I'm kind of thinking about picking a couple just for fun. Let's just pick them. It's something different. I'm going to get some of these units going globally. It's going to take a lot of money to recruit those. Iron Hail Gunners are available to us. Those are fun, but they're very limited range, and you have to kind of use them properly. One way you can use them is if you put your infantry in blocky formations to where the flank is overlapped, and the Iron Hails can clean up. Basically, they can clean up there. Let's go ahead and get his army underway. That's going to eat up some money for us, but having a powerful army with the Iron Dragon and the Storm Dragon is going to be a big deal. We definitely want that. Let's see here, Lord of Unity. Let's get the Comet. Comet is very good at breaking up infantry blobs, essentially. We've got some money we can spend. Oh, that would allow us to recruit those locally, actually. The Juggernaut and... Not the Lance Battery, though. 3 turns would be able to pick it up. I mean, we probably need to build this stuff so we can train it here. Oh my gosh, yeah, the Celestial Armory. Definitely what we want right there. Yeah, let's save our money and then I'm going to build this one too. So, let's not get too overboard with our spending here. And let's end our turn and see what comes at us next.
Eyes upon the heavens.
Feeling pretty solid about our position, though. Our Yang balance just went up even more because of pulling in the Iron Dragon. So, we gotta fix that. It's funny, I had one comment that seemed pretty angry with me, saying that I never pay attention to balance. I found that a little strange. I mean, yes, I definitely got way out of balance when I got the Confederation. And I haven't been, like, after it in, like, some sense of perfection. But we were balanced for multiple turns of the campaign. It mostly got out of balance whenever I confederated. And that's to be expected. You got to redo some of your buildings and get in there. It's honestly not that big of a deal until it gets way out of balance and you pick up that minus control. And honestly, even that's not that big of a deal until you get into the position where you're on Legendary and you start with like a -8 deficit to begin with, which is where we're at right now. Skaven have an army, but it's stepped away from the settlement. Obviously, they're going to have a settlement here. And I'm going to take it from them. That should leave them without a settlement. If they do have a settlement, not 100% sure where it's at. But yeah, I think we've robbed them of all their settlements. I want this character to join that army. It's going to be difficult because I'm not really going to stop moving, though. Are we pushing out gemstones there? We are not yet, so let's upgrade here and get those gemstones out on trade.
Miao Ying.
Miao Ying could be a great way to go after Village the Curseling. Do I have an agreement with these guys? We do. Non-aggression pact trade. We do not have military access, though. Be nice to have military access. They're open to it. They want a significant payment for it. They're not allied with anybody. I mean, could just as well kill these guys. I mean, if they turn on us, I'm really not concerned about it. So, yeah, I'm just going to trespass them. I'm not paying them 4,000 gold just to make them feel better about themselves. I'm going to take this army. Actually, I don't even think I need to trespass their territory. I'm going to head this way. And then, how are we looking? Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, not bad. We're pretty close on balance here. We're only +2. We just finished our research. Let's go check and see what buildings we have underway, because that may be about to change a few things. This looks like a conversion here to yen, and these two might overtip the balance, to be honest. I'm gonna have to wait a turn and see what these do. So I'm gonna end a turn, see what happens with the balance. There are a lot of buildings that I can build and probably should be building. So we'll need to take a look at the balance after the end of this next turn and just kind of see where we land. Pome, it looks like it can survive this rebellion, which is really handy for us. We'll take that extra treasury as well, because we had to build some expensive buildings. Terracotta Graveyard is probably gonna get beaten by Village, though it'll continue to damage him.
Natural authority.
I'm gonna move towards Village here and hopefully scare him off if he can see me. This army may come attack me. If he does, I mean, I don't know, even if we lost, but mostly destroyed him, it wouldn't be the end of the world, to be honest. So I'm not really that concerned about it one way or the other. I've got enough armies that we could survive an unfortunate event there.
Windshaper. Offspring.
I'm hoping it'll kind of scare him off because he's deep behind enemy lines. This is where we can pick up Bound Spell. Plague of Rust is not bad. Flock of Doom's not bad. Spirit Leech is always pretty nice. Pretty nice indeed. But I think I'm going to go ahead and just put my points here. Let's go ahead and do Blossom Wind.
I was born to win.
And let's check our armies one more time. This army can move. And it's not really needed in this vicinity. Let's check our allies here.
Wow, for you are in the presence
These are
of
defensive
celestial
allies. They're almost open to joining a confederation with us. I almost wonder if we can put out a military alliance, and I will join a war against the defenders of the Great Spirit of the Jungle. They are very happy about that. Balance that offer. They pay me a little. So I'll do this. We'll pick up a military alliance with them, and I'm gonna go attack the Spirit of the Jungle. Take their settlement. They don't have an army right here to hit me with. It would go. Oh, Lokir's back. Is he sieging us? I'll have to take a look at that here in just a second. Before I do any war declarations, let's go see what Lokir's up to. It showed Lokir here. That's weird. So I'm the only one who saw Lokir's picture here and wondering what's going on here. Alright, well, maybe we should move into position before we declare war on them. Let's do that.
Child of the night.
Let's move into position to march on their city.
Redouble your speeds.
This is all our territory, so let's just head that way. Alright. We got a Skaven army on the loose here, but it's a weak one. They are at strength rank 100. They have 0 settlements, so things are not looking good if you're a Skaven in Clan Eshin right now. So non-aggression pacts, we've got a couple. The Ice Court is open to it. Let's initiate diplomacy with them.
So long as you do not question me, we may proceed.
Let's see offer, and let's propose that. Then let's head back to Quick Deal.
Yes.
Ostland looks like they would take a non-aggression pact and a trade agreement. They would be willing to pay us some for it, so let's propose that offer. Okay, good. Get back into Quick Deal for non-aggression pacts. There's nothing open in trade.
Harmony.
Alliances. The Imperial Wardens are willing to confederate. And we could keep their army garrisoned on the wall. I think I am going to confederate them. Because then I can use their army to keep the wall safe, and so that would give me a 5th army as well. We're not going to pick up much income from them, unfortunately, though, because they only have the 1 settlement, but then we would control the whole of the wall, which would be kind of cool. What does their army look like here real quick? Let's take a look at their army before I make this decision. Alright, what you guys got? It's not terrible. It's pretty decent. It's a good starting point. I don't know why they have this Lord Magistrate. It would be another Yang character, though. But again, if we wait till after this turn and kind of see where the balance lies, maybe we can make our decision based on that. I'll go ahead and start researching towards more yen here. Or, sorry, yeah, yen. If we need to turn it the other direction, we'll turn it the other direction. Some yang, but yeah, we'll see whether I've overcorrected or not on this turn. There's a bunch of buildings that are available. Again, I am skipping some of these. I know some of that you're going to get driven crazy by that. It's okay. I'm kind of waiting to see what becomes necessary based on if there's any change to balance on the next turn in the harmony. Okay, so let's see what happens. Let's end this turn. We've moved our armies. And let's see what we get here. We're very close to consolidating all the lands of Cathay under a single banner. And that, to me, is exciting, which is going to make us a powerful force to be reckoned with. The Skaven are forced to attack us. It says it's going to cause us medium casualties. It's not going to actually get rid of any of my units in my army, so I'm okay. The replenishment would actually help build us up a little quicker, and that's probably the end of Clan Eshin. They have one more army here, so it isn't the entire end. But very close. Clan Eshin's on their last legs. Alright, and here's the puppets. They did go to the Terracotta Graveyard, and they are going to win. Just go ahead and give it to them. They took massive damage in that fight. That was a terrible fight for them. They've raised a couple of my settlements. Ooh, I'm so scared. They want me to join that war. And I'm very close to doing it, so hang tight. To be announced soon. Be announced soon. Okay. Storm Dragon. Army receives the plague. That is our caravan, so that's great. Our caravan has plague. Alright, we've now switched over, see, to yen harmony. We're now at yen +1. I'm doing research that is ultimately going to push us another +1 and then another +1 here, so that would ultimately push us to yen 3. So when we build some new buildings, we can go ahead and build a little bit of yang, and then hopefully we'll all balance out here soon. I'm not exactly sure what happened to the army for... what's their names here? Puppets of Misrule. There they are. They're just out of range. So I'm actually going to enter an ambush here. See if we can lure them in. And Miao Ying, I can bring her in from this direction. And that will hopefully maybe force Village into our ambush. It's a low chance of success, but it's a chance. Reminds me of Dumb and Dumber. They're like, so you're telling me there's a chance? All right. So yeah, we'll give it a shot. Who knows? Maybe the gods of Warhammer will be kind to us. All right. Excellent. 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 Let's get to our other leaders.
I will be obeyed.
So City of Shugingen is ours. I could take this army south to help against the war with the lizards here. It looks like our allies are not necessarily having the best of this, even though they have quite a few armies. The wall is not terribly concerning for me at the moment. And then I can confederate and pick that army up and keep it with almost no upkeep. So I do think I'm going to roll this army south. We're going to get rid of these raiding beastmen and then bounce through here and help rebuild some of this. And this army is actually now in position to attack the lizards. The lizards could come through here, which means this might be a good building to put in next. Because that would then give me a strong flank against them unless they hurry in. And yeah, we have other places that can be built. Let's take care of a couple of things here. So let's take this army. I do think we're going to go ahead and declare war here. But we're going to do it from the diplomacy screen to hopefully make my allies like us more. So we'll play a little bit of politics here. Let's get into the diplomacy. Let's go to our...
May the master of the celestial wind.
These guys had offered... Let's actually go back here to the River Lords. They're not that far out from a confederation. We can't really offer anything else when we ask them to join us in a confederation. Let's see here. Let's just offer to join the war. That way we don't give up more stuff there. So we'll just offer to join the war. That will clearly give us a military alliance. I'm not going to ask them for money because they're short on money as it is. So let's just go ahead and propose this offer. We'll grab a military alliance with them.
Harmony is attained.
So now we have gone to war. And let's take care of that real quick by snagging Zanshi here from the Puppet faction. The Defenders of the Great Plan. They have a pretty considerable garrison here, but it says they're going to get absolutely crapped on, and I'm here for it.
Your ancestors proud. An extension of the
That was definitely a considerable garrison.
Dragon-blooded sugar.
All right, so we picked up another port settlement, which is going to help me a lot with income. Oh, this is good. At least for now, everything's looking pretty good. Let's take a look at our armies. Okay, that's all the armies I can do. I'm going to go ahead and
let us manifest a better
confederate
destiny.
with these guys. So propose the offers. So we've now confederated. That's going to hurt my income some. Quite a bit, actually, at the moment.
Lord
They did not put the proper buildings in here. They had some weird buildings.
Celestial ancestors.
Let's take... they've built the gate up to tier 4, though, so it's a pretty solid defense. We're going to need to put the right buildings here. Let's demolish this building. And we'll leave this one just for getting basic troops. That actually kind of makes sense.
We must be tireless.
We can hop in the snake gate there. And then our income should bounce right back up as soon as I hop over to this other settlement where we can keep our upkeep costs lower. So like for instance here, that's a 55% reduction. That will take us to a 45% reduction there. So let's go ahead and do that work. And that should be good. So we'll move that armory over. That'll save us most of that upkeep cost. We've got our ambush set up. And we are at a huge yen balance now because of this, which means we should build a few yang buildings. Because that is actually going to cause us a loss of control again, which is bad. So let's head over here and find those spots where we have an easy spot for... Oof, I actually need trade right there. So yeah, now we've gone in the opposite direction, which is typical. Thought there was a few more spots for me to build some Yang buildings. Apparently there wasn't. Alright, well... really need this recruitment here at the moment. This +1, you know, we flip it, we go, so it's 2 move. Like, we could flip some of these buildings. Let's do this in the tech. Let me think about this for a minute. I'm gonna try and get this balanced. All right. We need to flip a few buildings. So if we're at +7, I've got research on the way that's going to make it 5. I just put in... I haven't put in any buildings yet. And I could flip a couple of these. Like, for instance, if I come here and flip back there, and that's going to give us a swing of 2 by the time we build it. And so that would put me at 3. And then let's go to here, and let's flip this one, and that would put me down to 1. That ought to get me pretty close over the next couple of turns, so let's just kind of head that direction and see what we get. Alright, we've got some skill points.
Child of the Nine.
And what did we end up here? Let's get evasion.
It befits my high station.
I'm glad it befits your high station. I have a high station too. Alright, your brother is recruiting and his army's going to be expensive, so we definitely need to move that army over. Bastion threats. What do I have the rest of these set on? Growth 25. I mean, the growth is actually really nice. What's the threat level at right now? I don't know. I'll probably just put these on growth right now.
Child of the Nine.
Alright, let's end our turn.
Written in the wind.
Hopefully we'll start to swing the balance back. Okay, we need to redirect this character actually to keep following that army. They're gonna catch up eventually, but not anytime too soon. I think within like 10 turns or so, we should solidly have Cathay in our control. Like total control.
They are sufficiently broken.
Other than maybe the very far southeast corner. Those guys may not want to confederate yet, and I may not have a reason to go to war against them, but for the most part, we'll have all of Cathay in our control, like the river, the wall, all the most important pieces here. They want military access now, which I actually kind of did want, and I do have treaties with these guys, so I'm not going to immediately attack them. So this is okay. Let's just do that. They'll act as a buffer state there for the time being. These guys are going to declare war on me. Yeah, so be it. Oh, this must be a lord that was sitting outside the wall. Oh well, we didn't want to pay upkeep on her anyway. Yeah, we had a rebellion in the wastelands of Genshin. That's where dear brother is at. I'm not terribly worried. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This army can now move to the other gate, start to drop their upkeep cost. There's a large army outside of the Snake Gate, but the Snake Gate is pretty secure. We'll have time to come over and block those guys. Yeah, see, that helped our upkeep a ton. Nothing has changed the balance yet on the yin and yang, but we will. Now that is interesting. Where did
The
those
dragon
guys
blooded.
get to?
My ancestors require
I'm gonna
it.
take these 2 settlements.
Favored daughter.
Ah, Village ran to the south, okay.
They will know
So be it.
more
He got past our ambush, just took off. That's fine.
Miao Ying.
He's not headed into any more of our territory, so we're gonna get our 2 settlements back here. That might have hurt our balance some as well. I don't remember what buildings were there.
Storm Dragon.
I've got buildings on the way to help fix things up a little. We could put in like a building here at Pome for a little bit of extra income. That would be that one final tick towards Yang, I believe. Yeah, because we got growth there, so we can still do this. So let's do this. And let's build these 2 settlements. Alright, income's starting to restabilize. Our balance should start to come back into play over the next couple of
There
turns.
is merit in this.
And we can head south against the lizards. Zanshi.
Shaper of the 8 winds.
Start to make
Master
improvements
of
there.
Action.
And we gotta cut down the lizards. What's the fastest way here?
I
Okay.
demand their death.
So we'll head there against the lizards. This place might rebel, so this might be a good spot to be anyway. Headed this direction.
Timon allows it.
And let's see. Timon? Like Timon and Pumbaa? I'm confused. Alright, well, I think that's it. I think we're going to call it here for an episode. That's a pretty good episode. We're about to get things back to balance. I know it looks bad for the moment, but I mean, you all saw what I was planning there. A couple turns, we should be back to normal unless anything big happens. The Confederations kind of throw it out of whack. We lost a settlement or 2. That canal is so cool, by the way, on the map. I want to get a hold of that settlement. Because that canal is just absolutely awesome. I love this map. It looks so good. Alright, so, yeah, we got some work to do. We got some work to do. And we're in good shape, in my opinion. Headed towards even better shape. Miao Ying is leveled up here. We did Missile Mirror. Storm of Shadows is not particularly useful. Flesh to Stone could be useful. Go ahead and drop a skill point there. I need to end a turn to save the game or to have a battle. Like one of the 2 needs to occur. Get our control going back on there. Alright, so I'm going to end the turn, and I will see you all starting here on the next episode. And we'll see how Cathay continues to grow. But, I mean, things looking good. We have a huge chunk of territory, friends to our south, and the other small pieces of Cathay that we don't own, the folks are fairly friendly. Grimgor is looking like maybe he's starting to falter a little here in his assault on the ogres. He's not gone, but he certainly looks like he took a beating as maybe Kolek came in and attacked him instead of us. Rather great for Kolek's poor decision-making capability. Anyway, HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I'll see you all soon with some more action in the legendary Grand Cathay campaign.